Hi, I want to talk about a topic that's kind of strange, but many artists and producers, many scientists, they know this or about it, and it's also a source for a lot of fights or court fights or feuds, and that's a topic of that the title is having the courage to be creative, to create works of art, to create artistic work based on your own spiritual or scientific discoveries, and not to be so concerned to that how certain critic or a public or authority might perceive it or approve of it or not. Well, if you listen to all these critics, you won't be making any kind of artwork. You won't be producing anything. You'll just die in as an unknown. And there is a lot of history of works that that somebody put out the work, put out the effort, and made it. It was a very nice piece of art, or a very nice spiritual work, like psalms or poems or discoveries. And somebody else came along and said, "Oh, this was mine. This is," and the history recognized him or her, and we all go along with that. But what's happening now is that with the search engines, with the artificial intelligence, and the fact that a lot of works are on the YouTube, on the social media, or they are very easily accessible on the internet. So there was a kind of review process for scientific discoveries, a review process with artistic works, that many artists or scientists would come in and look at the work. Previously, you had to publish in Science magazine. If you had made discoveries in quantum physics or paleontology, you would have to write a very nice article and reference it, and then other scientists would come in and review it. And this is how science progressed up to before internet age. But even with Usenet, which was the elementary part, or before even the web was there, things changed radically. Which means when many different diverse people are able to access any kind of scientific work or artistic work, it becomes kind of impossible to plagiarize or to say, hey, this is mine, because you don't know who else came in and saw the works, and after a while, say that I have been on this trail and I have made publications. I have some discoveries or theories about physics of Mandela effect. So they are there, and people have come and looked at it. So it's almost impossible to kind of fake it and say this is mine. But the other thing that also has happened is that when some scientific or artistic work is available and it's out there, then the public or even the artificial intelligence that indexes it or sets it up, it's able to evaluate the quality and the density of this work, which means that, say for example, I publish something on topology. Well, many artists or many mathematicians, they they could go in and look at this work and say, hey, this work is it has a very high density. There's a lot of new stuff in here. There's very creative new things in there that you don't find in the previous work. So when the AI or the search engine wants to catalog it, when it goes into the search engines, well, some of the criteria is how many people have access, how it's related to other websites. But then there is other criteria of how dense it is, this work is academic or not, or is creative or is it new. So some AIs, they know that this work is kind of higher quality and goes on top of the search engine. So, then it not only makes it impossible to imitate and fake things, but also it has a way of pointing out to many people that have become like trolls or very complacent to just create your own content, your own spiritual experiences, write them down. Why you need this guy? Why you need Hassan? Why you need some religious leader? What's wrong with you? If it's so easy to publish and put out the work, why couldn't you be the next Einstein? Or all you need is new ideas and have the courage to put out those ideas or things. And if some isn't correct, if there are many critics that they hate it, okay, don't go there. But my work, my ideas, my art, my clips from movies I have been in, my discoveries, I want them out. And by just simply doing that, that's a certain kind of courage. And also, what I see a lot of people engage in is very destructive to themselves, is this thing that, oh my God, people shouldn't know these things. They're so private, so precious, so this and that. And in fact, there are very few things that are like that. That's so precious and nobody has to know about it. Why? I mean, I could see this in even in very old civilizations, or even in Islamic history. In the religion of Islam, there is very few things. I doubt that there is anything that's hidden, that you couldn't find out. I mean, many Muslims, they know almost all intimate details of Prophet Muhammad's life. They know who he slept with. He had many wives. He was really a womanizer, and but he never married when he was married to his first wife Khadija. But then later on, when she passed away, then he married many women, but one was very precious to him, Aisha. She was much younger than him, and so, but then so what? So I know this stuff, and should he have like hidden these things and kind of you couldn't find out? What would have that done? And then many Westerners, they condemn Muslims, they condemn Prophet Muhammad for not practicing monogamy or not living to a standard, is a Christian standard. Well then, so what? We are not Christian, and we don't practice monogamy, so we are practicing polygamy. So, I mean, I just don't get the the reason for all this secrecy. Well, then uh, the thing is that why many actors or many actresses they become very famous, very even though they're very twisted kind of people, but they what these people do and what I do, I let the public or the other people see what goes on in me. There is very few secrets. I'm like an open book, and even my spiritual experiences, or the women that I have been interested, or they have been interested in me, or the fact that some woman just dumped me, and many things that well the public would want that hey we should hide this or we shouldn't talk about it. The Iranians are very twisted like that, and they really put out very little of what goes on in their in Iranian society. Well, I went to the temple. There was a celebration, and there was a dance. It was called Murchedara dance. It's like a very kinky dance where people, men and women, they find each other. This is kind of like initiation into getting married or finding each other. So anyhow, my camera is just crap. This is the same camera. It does a kind of okay job. If I'm taking videos like this, the sound is pretty okay. But I took this uh, to the celebration, and I took some videos of the dance, and then I published it. The sound is pretty bad, I would say, and and when I was doing it, I saw that there were all these people, and the cameras they were holding, or just one of the camera would be like 4,000 or 4K cameras. You could tell some had like Sony or JVC, good camera, good sound, and had light and all that crap. My camera wasn't anywhere near what they had. But what I did is I took that clip and I thought that this is valuable. I have no secrets, and I put this video out. Well, this video became famous in the temple, and many people came in and looked at the video. Especially, I took some clips of old friends and I put them out. Oh my God, there was just all this discussion about these clips. They were all like four of them or so short clips. But that just shows that you can be creative. You can stop worrying about the critics, what they might think, or how, oh my God, what secrets might get out, and create what you want. And the whole society is going in this direction. It's becoming decentralized. There's so much social media. There's so much stuff about a given person that somebody anywhere in Timbuktu could reconstruct a complete profile of Hassan. That this profile or this avatar could sing and dance just like Hassan and has every characteristic like Hassan, and be attracted to other avatars that are just like the women that Hassan wants. So there is no point in hiding stuff and not creating things, and not putting out your own art. The other good thing that comes out when you create and you are not afraid to share it or put it out for the world to experience, or is that it is very healing. It is being able to self-express yourself. It also becomes a record, artistic or spiritual, and will remain for future generations. And the other thing that it does, the world comes to know those fantastic qualities that Hassan has, and very few people possess those qualities. Like, the world knows I'm a psychic, I'm a medium. They have. There is so much works out there. Some of my psychic predictions have come true to the letter, and they know I'm really smart and have discoveries in quantum physics. It does help in business transactions, and also eases relationships. The one thing that it does, it's very strange, is that women are always looking, to see if a guy that she's going with, he is worth his salt. That's really like very is a challenge for me, because the women they kind of demand, are you really worth it? Yes, I am worth it, bitch. I know in my family, between my mother and my father, there's always fights going on over this. That she think, oh my God, I should have been married to Shah's generals. She was very pretty, and later on, after my father died, she did go and married ex-ambassador. He was he's really such a jerk, but be establishing the worth with women is like itself a big deal. Well, I had a video. It's called Tape Familia. I just kind of go in there and tell the women, hey, did you know my IQ is 153, and there's only few people in the state of California that are as smart. Did you know I dated the Kennedys? Did you know that I have blue blood, and what? Some of this stuff isn't enough. Did you ever hear that song? The one of the singers says that, hey, I'm a student in the nuclear physics course. My grades are A. Oh my God, the future is so bright. And and then she comes out and says, so what? I mean, is that enough? Well, I could ask this question, so what is enough, bitch? But then it shouldn't stop me from putting out my artistic work, my discoveries, and it's really great. I feel no kind of fear or intimidation to not to do so, and also my political views, they're out there. I don't care if somebody doesn't like them, so what? When Prince died from overdose in the plane that was taking him around, then they kind of discovered this vault that he had all this music, all these songs, all these. I think there was some sheet music or whatever. He had stopped people from accessing it. He had stopped publishing them. They were just really nice songs, really nice music, but he had this, inner critic, like things have to be in a certain way, and they shouldn't see this work. It doesn't compare with my other works. Well, I think Prince, he was not only a fag, but also he was very twisted, because when I used to go on the web, on the YouTube, and try to get some of his music, like 1999 or When the Doves Cry, it was very difficult to get these videos. I sometimes had to go to file sharing to get them. He had done all this stuff. He had hired attorneys to prevent media companies from he was basically his own worst artistic enemy that wanted to quash or stop his works for being the public from enjoying the works or having access to it. I meet people like that in the temple. I met one. He told me you shouldn't do this and la la la. I told him, hey, you're old like me. What if you expire tomorrow? Well, who would know about you? It kind of took him back, and then well, there is a verse in Quran. It goes like this: God wants to see the manifestations or the signs of His grace in His servants. Like if God gave you communion or grace and you hid it, then you did yourself and society a disservice. You are to talk about all these nice things that happen to you in your soul, or the art that you made. It doesn't simply belongs to you, it belongs to the world, and it's also very healing. Well, there is I want to finish this with the last expression. Arabs have an expression, it goes like this: نصف العشق وصف العشق. Nusf means half of love is telling the world about your love. This is the half of it. You already got half of it when you did that. Well, thank you very much for being in my YouTube channel. Please don't be shy. Leave comment and subscribe. Thank you for putting up with me. Have a nice one.